Consistency. This is the biggest difference between Alan and I and other people and our peers, is we're just really good at being consistent. Part of that is because I don't care about being outside or doing anything else. So like, I'm a very simple human being, which is great. And it really lends itself to success. So last time we came and spoke to this group, I think it was December or January. We have done 250 episodes almost since then. Okay. So when we say 750, last time we were in the 5s. That's consistency. We don't miss every single day. So I want you to think about this for a second. If you listened to an audiobook, watched a YouTube video, read a book for 10 minutes a day for a year, that's 61 hours. 61 hours of pure knowledge. If you went to 20 minutes, it would be double that. If you went to 30 minutes, it would be triple that. That's the power of consistency. Now, I want each and every one of you to think of something right now. It's not always about becoming consistent. Oftentimes, it's about transitioning consistency. What are you doing consistently right now that is not serving you? So when I go to the studio, I literally, in the very beginning, would stop every day for a coffee. Okay? I have a very nice coffee shop down the street from my house. It's $4.71 for a large iced latte. $4.71. $5 every time I get a coffee, right? If I go to the studio 5 times, it's $25. That adds up. My consistency switched from me doing that to consistently making coffee at home. Now, this one is the hardest one because it really is about what are you doing when nobody's watching. You have to make it simple. You have to make it as simple as humanly possible. I think what happens is we feel momentum in our lives, and Alan and I have seen this with clients and team members. We start to build momentum when we start to feel a little bit consistent. And it's like, honestly, I'm going to read 30 pages a day. I'm going to go to the gym twice. I'm going to drink a gallon of water. I'm going to save $500 every month. It's like, why don't we dial it back a little bit? Focus on being consistent with the small things first. What I will tell you is accountability is helpful. You all have people above you and you have people that you're helping. Lean into that. Like really, really ask for help. If you're struggling with consistency, ask for help genuinely and make the lowest barrier to entry possible when it comes to consistency. You can't see it, but like my microphone is always set up in my office. Camera, always set up. Lights, all I do is flip a power switch and this all comes on. Simple. It's easy to be consistent when your environment is set up for that. And again, I know a lot of us are working from home. It's difficult. This is what I would tell you all. Have conversations with your loved ones that you're living with and say, hey, honestly, I struggle a little bit when I work with a door open, or I struggle a little bit when you pop your head in to ask how I'm doing. I need to be more consistent at this. And it would really help me if you would just treat it as if I'm at work for 8 hours a day. Difficult, but important. Consistency starts with you. Your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, your futures depend on how consistent you are right now. Like right now, what you're doing is determining what happens tomorrow, a year, 6 years, 10 years, right now.
The futures you all want are ultimately going to be determined on what you do and most importantly, what you don't do. So we're all consistent creatures, but we're consistent at often the wrong things. And so just remember that positive habits are hard to create and easy to destroy because the immediate gratification is not there. Okay? Bad habits, easy to create, hard to destroy because there's so much immediate gratification. Scrolling on Instagram, for example, not fulfilling, but we all do it. Why? Immediate dopamine. So there's a book right behind me called The Art of Impossible. We interviewed the author. His name's Stephen Kotler, and I just got off a book club earlier. As a matter of fact, if my camera were to die, that would be why, Kev. But we're reading this book in book club, 12:30. Amy was there, PM, every Saturday. In this book, he says this one quote that's so powerful. Very little is impossible given a decade. But here's the thing, I want to flip it. Very little is actually possible if you can't be consistent. As a matter of fact, almost nothing is. Almost nothing is possible if you can't be consistent. Meryl Streep, Serena Williams, Leonardo DiCaprio, Eminem, and an Oprah Winfrey. We went to an Oprah Winfrey event. We found out that she did 25 years straight of the Oprah show without missing a single episode. Not one time she was sick. No, I can't come in. She didn't miss. I said, Kevin, that's why she's Oprah Winfrey. There's a concept called the bow tie. You guys are all entrepreneurs in your own right. The bow tie is basically max effort in, 10 out of 10 effort in, for 0 results at the beginning. So I know that Gloria's done very well in Young Living. At the beginning, it was probably so much effort for so little return. Oh my God, brutal. Yeah, for us, broke for the first 2 years, straight up, completely broke. Now, clients are coming out of the woodwork, okay? It's called the bow tie. At the beginning, no one knows you, okay? Coca-Cola versus Sam Cola. Everyone knows Coca-Cola. No one knows who Sam is, okay? They've been around for 100 years. Consistency. And no, I'm not pro soft drinks, by the way. But level 10 effort in for almost no return. That's why it's so hard to create the habit. Fitness journey, 5 days, does nothing. 5 years, change your whole life. Okay? At the beginning of a journey, it's 10 effort in for 0 results, but it starts to flip. Eventually, it's 9-1. Then it's 8-2. Then it's 7-3, 6-4. Oh, 5-5. My effort's actually kind of paying off. Gloria's been there. Oh, it's starting to work. Eventually, it flips, and it's like, honestly, do I even deserve all this? Holy crap. Kevin and I are getting there now where it's like, okay, you don't even know who I am, and you're signing up for my coaching? You heard from a friend of a friend of a friend that I was good? It's like wild. But for the first 3, 4, 5 years, we're only 5 years in, so 4 years, it was struggle bus. Absolute struggle bus. Joe Rogan's the example in podcasting. Joe Rogan can never podcast again starting today, and we will never catch him. Why? Because he's done it for 17 years or 12 years or 14 years, however long, okay? There's no catching the people who stay consistent for the long term. Now, hopefully we will catch him eventually, but seriously, it's going to take an additional 50 years after he stops probably. And I will podcast when I'm 80. Let's rock and roll. But that's my point. Consistency is the game. Guys, none of these other ones matter if you can't do consistency. And I'm going to be honest with you. We're heart-driven, but no BS. This is the struggle bus. Honestly, very few people can be consistent. At this point, we have something called peak performance tracking, group coaching, clients, Kevin, myself, the team. Like, we have data on dozens and dozens of people. Consistency is the struggle. Of all these, that's the one. Pick your train, keep the train rolling, never lose momentum. Consistency is the key. I don't care if it's a perfect workout. There is no perfect workout. All I care about is that you show up and keep the promises you make to yourself. I would rather you struggle through a 30-minute workout when you're tired and prove to yourself that you're worthy than I would you skip. Go when it's hard, and I promise you confidence and commitment and clarity, and these other ones will really